I go for refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by the accumulations of practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha, the Venerable, sentient beings. I go for refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by the accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha, the Venerable, sentient beings. I go for refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by the accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become Buddha, the Venerable, sentient beings. I go for refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by the accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha, the Venerable, sentient beings. Sanje Joda Zoge Jona Sa Chagaju Tadu Aniya Sushi Nagi Jinso Kime Sonam Ye Joda Enge Sanje Dubara Isho Sanje Joda Zoge Jona Ba Chanjo Badu Nani Katsu Che Dagi Jinso Kime Sonam Ye Yola Benje Sanje Dubara Resho Sanje Yola Soge Chona Chanjo Balu Dami Yatsu Che Dai Jinso Kebe Sonam Ye Yola Benje Sanje Dubara Resho Om Ye Dharma He Tu Prabhava Etum Desham Bhattagato Yavada Desham Chayo Niroda Evam Vati Mahashamana Yeswa Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Etum Desham Tathagato Yavata Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yeswa Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Etum Desham Tathagato Yavata Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Adi Mahashramana Yeswa All phenomena arise from forces, the causes are
the cessation of the causes is what is taught by the Great Spirit.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello. 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 Becoming sick, this is a problem. Forget it. Smart. Pogendin, he's about to get scolded. For me not putting the mic, and he's going to get scolded. Okay, thank you. Now we are on page 13. Now the self-grasping ignorance is... Okay, self-grasping ignorance is talking to the wisdom, saying that with all these reasons given above, the wisdom of emptiness is like a Udumbara flower. So it says that this flower, Udumbara, this is something extremely rare. So it says that only when the Buddhas appear on the planet Earth, then this flower blossoms. It's so rare. So likewise, And the self-grasping ignorance is telling the wisdom, since you are very rare, you are so rare, people cannot really help you so often. A single occurrence will mean perfect only when all the facts are intact. Then the wisdom emptiness comes. Otherwise, it doesn't come. That's very true. That's very true. And so, in fact, these are all like for example, I remember when I was I think 20 or 21, my teacher, he used to, so what I did is quite, so why I'm sharing this anecdote is that so these are like say your instructor, your teacher, your mentor, who, these are things that your mentor, your teacher, you have to actually teach us. In so much, I remember that there was one debater, senior, I think about 10 years senior to me, 10, or maybe 11, 12 years senior to me. And a brilliant debater. Brilliant debater. So many debates, extremely sharp questions, and the very succinct answers, just unimaginable, amazing. And he has this air of, this elegance in debating. And people, they find it a little intimidating to compete with him in the debate. And me, as just a young boy who is just new to this debate tradition, and when in the debate session, which is open to anybody, I could see that, of course, he is very senior, and he throws questions. While he was throwing questions, I could feel something uneasy, meaning that there's a tinge of arrogance. Actually, it was not arrogance. This is a style, and I felt that this is the debate is for the dharma. Dharma is to come to tame our ego, and there's this big sense of feeling the ego here. So later, I would say that these are very evolved beings. Very evolved beings. They can manifest any form. Like in some of these Buddhist traditions, we see that there are some deities which are awful, and how come they are Buddhist deities? They isn't the highest level of Buddhas and manifest. They're so awful, just to tame us till the wrath comes. People some people they don't take things easy. Sometimes the parents, they pretend so that they are, they're very sad and they're angry, although they pretend, they're upset. They're not upset. But unless he or she shows this, a child is listening to the mother. So my teacher, and my teacher is a lifelong hermit, Venerable Geshe. In fact, I have many teachers. So he was one who I was so inspired since my entry to the Buddhist philosophy. And I informed this to him, that this was happening. I don't really feel so happy with this, although he's a very smart debater, but something uneasy is coming. And then my teacher said that, when debating, sometimes this is required. So in order to activate to be more active, and then you can think more profoundly in a different way. Sometimes it's required. Because I take my teacher very seriously. And then during my debate, I also try to be like that teacher, that in senior, like my teacher level, they got to Damdul, Then again, when I had to meet my teacher, the mountain, the hermit, I said, I also should do that. He scolded me so badly. He said, Dorji, who do you think you are? What is there for you to be so proud of? I was confused. This boy was confused. What? When I talk to someone else, when debate removed. Then he said, little bit of this is wrong here. When I said I did it, he said, who are you to do that?
scolding so badly. So then I was confused. This young boy was confused. Now, what should I be doing? You're doing it, not doing it. So if I don't do it, he said, it's required to activate your intelligence. And if I do it, he scolded me, saying that I'm an arrogant person. What do you do? Then later I got the message. Wow, it's amazing. Don't ever, the message that I got from my teacher was that don't ever judge anybody else based on what they're doing. But you could for sure judge them yourself. Wrong things, which you see somebody doing this, is not sure what they're doing, you don't know. And on top of that, if you downgrade, if you look down on another person, your compassion diminishes. Your anger comes up, and the anger diminishes your compassion. So you can possibly, with yourself, no excuse, practice compassion, practice gentleness, no need to be aggressive. So this is when I learned how to distinguish between how you perceive other things, other people, and how you perceive yourself. So the advice given here, they are truly taking this advice from this great teacher, just the Venerable Geshe. Brilliant teacher, brilliant master, enlightened master. So he says that the wisdom bench is so rare, like the Udmara flower, which comes once in in eons. Buddha Shakyamuni, from the previous Buddha Geshe, till the Buddha Shakyamuni. How many eras? There were 7 eras. And then so all these eras know Udmara flower. So the Buddha Shakyamuni came, and then again one Udmara flower. It's so rare. So sometimes it's so rare. So now, even it's actually telling us. For us to generate this mindfulness is so rare. If you don't generate this mindfulness, then we have to remain subservient to these approximate events. If that happens, then we continue to shed tears. Okay, so you are just like the Udmara flower, a singular occurrence when meanings are perfect. And that too, when does it happen? Only when all factors are intent. But for the means to come together perfect, one needs for boundless eons to develop an unequaled great accumulation. Great accumulation of merit. Great accumulation. Merit is required. If you don't have this, yes, I can see that. It's very funny that one time we started the Bodhicitta retreat, and a year in advance, one gentleman already signed up. I mentioned this first to this gentleman. He signed up, and already bought the flight ticket, everything done. For 1 year he was waiting. He was the first person who signed up, ordered the ticket. And at the last minute, when we are all set to go to the venue, he had to call out the participation. For the reason that something mishap happened to him, and then he had to cancel the retreat. So therefore, these are things merit is required. So therefore, in a journey of this, it's so important for us to make sure that we accumulate merit. And how to accumulate merit? There are many ways of doing it. One thing, the best would be always try to turn towards a spiritual person, someone who truly can practice the Dharma. To turn to such a person. There must be somebody like a mentor, or like as your friend, someone who truly practices Dharma and who truly, for example, I personally would say that for example, in their life, I've seen some who are truly extremely evolved Dharma practitioners. But I've met how many people? Thousands of people, monks, the people of these are only 4 or 5 people. I mean, the moment I see them, just communicate with them in 2 3 minutes, I would feel that this is a very, very involved practitioner, highly involved practitioner, whose mindset we cannot even emulate. It's amazing. So these we find usually amongst the monks, but even amongst the lay people. And then they say from any religion, for example, like Hindus, some they're extremely good, truly they believe in compassion as taught by the Hindu masters. And in Muslims, amongst the Muslims, I see that some are amazing, and Jain, no doubt. Jainism, of course. And then Christians, for example, like over year 14, when I was looking at his activities, what he's doing, what he's saying, what decision he's taking, all these things, I can see that he really believes in compassion. It's not about politics. Politically, he's appointed, and then he was the most powerful person amongst the Catholic Christians. No, he truly believes in compassion. Wow, amazing. Who put the compassion first, and then maybe other things, politics. Well, he's a political head. He's a political head, but they haven't been Vatican. At the same time, he's also head of the religion. For him, the compassion is first, and the political things come later. With the politician, he's often there. Wow, it's amazing. So what I say is that, and then amongst the Sikhs, amazing good people, so passionate. So what I'm saying is that this is something that we need to really learn, to make sure that we have somebody who you can see as your role model. And that, of course, when we have this goodness, but we don't have access to this goodness so easy. So we need somebody amongst your classmates, amongst your friends, who truly, love to study Dharma, plus practice, and truly manage practice in well-being, in your compassion action. No, I can fly, this is a great person, he flies. No, this is not really to the faith, religious practice. Religious practice, who is that? Leo Tolstoy. When I saw this, I was just awestruck. I was taken aback, plus awestruck. Taken aback meaning, wow, this is what he said. It's so profound. He said that I don't want to listen to your religious discourses. I want to see your religious discourses in action. That's amazing. So this I can see in your talk. It was that the Pompeo quoting. I can see that. Amazing. Okay. So the great accumulation of the meditation. Why that? So it says that the Buddha indicated that if it's a virtue, treat that as a diamond. If it's a virtue, treat it as a diamond. Diamond meaning a tiny piece you will not throw. A tiny piece you will not throw. Diamond. Likewise, virtue, it treats as diamond. That it is a tiny piece. You keep it as a diamond. Because any tiny virtue is precious. And these tiny virtues will build a habit in you. Habit to engage in virtues, to engage in compassion acts, to have a sense of integrity. For example, if you say that, okay, if you ever have any problem related to this matter, let me know. I'll help you. Once you make a commitment, you will have to be there. It's not that when the person actually comes to the problem, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you can go with this person, that person. You just push aside. This is not the integrity. So the integrity is so important, particularly related to somebody else's sentiments. This integrity is so important. When you make a commitment to help somebody else do something, you have to do it. Otherwise, it will be a very bad habit for you, and this bad habit will make you suffer. Okay. to develop an unequal accumulation, which again arises. And then, so how there becomes so much accumulation of the merit and so forth, which again requires like all these acts like pleasing your teacher and your study, your the consistency, the integrity, actual practice, and so forth. It was a lot of factors. Whereas Thosamling is saying that, but I do, but if you want me, you don't need to find this condition. You can easily have me. You understand? What do you say, Simon?
No, I think I understand.
Huh?
I will understand.
Okay, so say I'm Thosamling. I'm telling you, you are saying you are an human being or an essential being. I'm telling you that you want to come to this to emptiness. You will say yes, but it's so rare. It was a lot of conditions. And to get this condition so difficult. So instead of that, you go for me. I can come to you without any conditions. Alright? I'm coming very easily. I'm easily accessible. Which I'm just not easily accessible. It will come only in 1,000 years, 1 month. Okay. I do not need such things. So I can be owner. I'm the owner continually, the ultimate owner. Only the definite presence of non-mistake. Now, if you really want to exterminate, you want to eradicate me, you have to depend on the definite presence of unmistaken wisdom. That is the antidote and as an antithetical way of apprehending to me. Only that can evict me, otherwise not. And when will that arise? There was only one, thousands of thousands, only one person can have. So therefore, don't expect this. In fact, I'll leave you. Okay. It's a big message for us. The next, what about the antidotes that may be generated? Okay. As I do not believe in any of that, so now there are so many traditions, there are so many people in the Dhamma practice and so forth. But out of these, who really has the capacity to cultivate the resurrection? So less, and others, although they are all saying that I'm going to evict Thosamling and I'm going to evict them, I don't care. I'm not bothered by this also. I'm only scared by the wisdom practice, the true understanding of scientists. Others, no. I don't care. What about other antidotes? What do we? So all and further also, they will move the further explanation given, saying that these are all the wrong antidotes. They are not the direct antidote to counteract me. So I don't care about this. So all these are in support of me. Okay. I don't believe in any of them. They only become my support. Because all other practices, if not the wisdom of emptiness, any other practices, somehow they'll be connected with self-grasping ignorance. So they are my support. When they become my support, then what happens? Similar. Then there's no liberation. There's no liberation. Okay. A slide, the transition modification quite the next line. Unless contact between this is a unique Tibetan word which the translator could not understand it. Tok rek manapa. So it says tok is like contact, rekpa is like touch. But it's not mean he translated contact with being tight. No, it's not mean. The meaning is that unless you give a jolt to me, right? Hey, if a jolt is self-grasping ignorance, if you give a jolt, say, to the king, unless you give a jolt to the king. Otherwise, if you give a jolt to the servant of the king, it will not affect the king. So therefore, it says that unless. I also let me say if we can modify this translation by saying without giving up karma, or let's say unless you give a jolt to me, shake me, unless you shake me or give a jolt to me, by not giving up the meditation of non-perceptual consciousness, meditating without this is and this is not, is accepted as meditation on the mode of abiding. Okay, so some people, what they say is that they don't really touch or they don't really shake the self-brahman ignorance. And then they say that, oh, this doesn't exist, it is non-existent. It is non-existent, it is non-existent. So you reject both, and then finally what is left? They have no idea. They think that this is meditation emptiness. So meditation without this is and this is not. Without meaning not this, not this, not. You got it? Okay. Is accepted as meditation on the mode of abiding. Mode of abiding meaning suchness, ultimate reality. So this word comes so often. The interpreted nidu. Mode of abiding is nidu. So nidu, better translated mode of abiding. One is translated mode of abiding, but it comes so often, better translated as suchness, or the reality is better. I have to laugh at heart. If you don't just shake me, if you just touch, my servant or my pet dog and so forth, but you still think that you're victim me, it's a laughter. It's a source of laughter. Okay, now the next. Some take, so you have to identify particularly separate the positions. Some take luminosity as the mind. Okay, there are 5 points indicated here. Luminosity as the mind. Meaning that, for example, okay, what is this? Luminosity as mind. As in, say you are in a dark place, power cut, and you close your eyes. Can you think of daylight? Can you think of daylight? Yes? You can think of daylight, only in dark place, and there's a power cut, there's no light source light at all, but you can think of daylight. You get it? So, some of all these lights, they come to your mind. Where is this light coming? Is it external light? It's not external light. Or, to make it more easy, let me put it like this. Okay, I say this is completely dark, and I say, what is this? Metric? Wow, neither. In dark you can see it. No. Oh yeah, I thought that it has supernatural power. Okay, Joanna, what is this? A conventional flower. You're the philosopher who has the material power. I said, imagine it's totally dark. Imagine there's no light. Totally dark. And I raised this up and said, what is this, Joanna? No, I don't know what it is. It's invisible. You're getting you all agree. Now, close your eyes. Imagine a flower. Can you imagine a flower? Good. Okay, open your eyes. Now look at it. What is this? Check. Flower. So, why in the earlier case, no light, you cannot see a flower. Now, you say there's a flower. What makes you to see that? Huh? Mind you have put mind before also. The light. Okay, how many believe it? Similar? The light. So, light is the luminosity. Light is the luminosity. So, this luminosity allows you to see the flower. Now, in a dark place, no light, and you eyes closed, you think of the flower. Can you think of the flower? Hey, Jack? Can you think of the flower? Yes, you can think of a flower. You can in dark. Okay. So you see that to see a flower, you need a luminosity. Yes. In dark, you don't see the flower. But the moment the light comes, the flower becomes visible. So which means to see the flower, you need a luminosity. To see anything, you need a luminosity. And when you close your eyes, you can imagine a very bright flower. So the luminosity is there. So that luminosity is not external luminosity, it's an internal luminosity. Internal luminosity. That is your mind. The mind which has that element of luminosity. So he says, luminosity as the mind. Number one. Number two, that if somebody can go deeper, then we see that not only in the dark, you can just imagine a flower, knowing that even when you are in the middle of the light, when you see all these lights, walls, painting, you can see that is because of the luminosity of inside. At the moment we say, no, this is going light outside. No, this is going to be luminosity inside. You're getting this very profound meditation. This is where the luminosity inside. For example, saying, is there color or not? Is there color or not? There is color. You're getting this color. But there are some people who have the color blindness. They don't see that. Simply because there's color doesn't mean that you see that. So you are seeing something because there should be some element inside. And that is the actual luminosity of that mind. That luminosity. So in the first place, in the dark we imagine a flower, that's easy. We see that that's luminosity of the mind. But even what we see as the real objects, external objects with the light, even that is also because of the luminosity of the mind. That's very profound meditation. Okay. It's just for you to know. So luminosity as some take luminosity as the mind. What? This is a very profound meditation inherited from India. No. Yes, Aditi.
How is it different from living generality?
Which one?
Luminosity.
Okay. Many generality is it's a good question. Let's say that the mind can think of a beautiful, bright flower. So that is the image of the flower. It's not a real flower. Image of the flower, but a very bright image. So that's the object. And what is the subject? The mind which is thinking. That's the subject. So subject and object. Luminosity is a quality of the subject, not object. So the object is the generic image. Meaning generality, or the generic image, just the image that is formed in the mind, that is labeled as, in Tibetan, Dorji. And in English, we translate it as meaning generality or generic image. So you learn these technical terms. This is ORS. Which one reason? ORS. Okay. Luminosity as the mind. Then the mind as empty. You're getting it? Mind as empty. And the emptiness as the illusion. And the illusion as lacking inherent existence. Okay, 5 steps. Luminosity as the mind. Mind as empty. Empty as illusion. Illusion as empty of intrinsic reality. Okay, say in a loose sense. Let's make it like this. You get a sense of what is luminosity. And that luminosity is the internal luminosity, mental. So luminosity is the mind. And the mind is empty. So mind, if you go to examine what the mind is, so usually this is how many of the, how people describe that the mind does not have a color as a physical form. So it's empty in the sense. And then this empty, because it's empty, and it still appears in the form of different appearances. So all what the appearances coming, they are like illusion. Because they're coming from the mind, illusion. So this illusion of the wall, the pillars and so forth, this illusion is to be seen as lacking inherent existence. Okay, 5 steps. Okay, this is what some people explain like this. It says that, and as third, this is meditating on the mode of abiding. What is mode of abiding? ultimate suchness or ultimate reality, and this is only conventional. If done well, it is merely a meditation on the illusion. So finally seeing that you identify the illusion. Illusion meaning that say what appears in one way but empty. For example, let's say that I show you a picture of the pizza, and it appears as a pizza, but it's empty of being pizza. So therefore, we say it's like illusion. So in this, the focus that they put on is that this is like illusion. So illusion is a positive phenomenon, negative phenomenon. Hey, illusion is positive phenomenon, negative phenomenon. Positive. Okay, how would you say positive? Illusions are positive phenomenon. Yes, emptiness is negative phenomenon. Particularly, use negative. Non-affirming negative. So therefore, if you even see that, illusion line, there's no meditation emptiness. So where many people again get confused with this, illusion line, just spend years and years meditating on that. It's not meditation emptiness. Okay. If one meditates on my absence, only if you meditate on the absence of objective reality, it harms me. It counteracts the self-grasping ignorance. I and non-existent I are a dichotomy for the reason that I as object real and non-existent of object I, these two are dichotomous. Okay. It did not become meditation on my non-existence. What they said is not meditation on the absence of my non-existence, meaning non-existence of objective self. Since its mode of apprehension is not antithetical to mind, so what they are saying, what they are comprehending is not directly in opposition with how I view things. How can it harm me? Okay, next. Something of the empty space. Okay, now there's any tradition which says that, think of the empty space. Think of empty space. Or space, does it have, say, the space like sky? Does it have, does it have the periphery end? There's no end. You keep going. It's just endless. So likewise then, with a space, you blend your mind with the space. Blend mind with the space. Just a space, it doesn't have any periphery. The mind also, when blend with the space, you see that it has no periphery. So that is emptiness. Something of the empty space as not having limits or middle. This is middle. Okay, space, where is the center? There's no center. And there's no limit, meaning the periphery. No. And meditate on it as unified with the mind. They posit it as a space-like view. This is this space-like, they say, mind blend with the space without the center and the periphery. So you say that this is known as the view, the correct view of the space-like correct view. And the space-like meditative voice. And we do find a mention of Allah mention what is known as the space-like emptiness and illusion-like emptiness. Okay, so where you study these, then you see the differences, and you can see the differences, not just getting stuck to the labels. That is where your understanding deepens. Okay, they posit it as a space like, what's wrong with this, or what's incomplete with this? They posit it as a space-like view and a space of meditative poise. Okay, now what's the problem? Why is so the modify the translation a little bit. Why is I'm reading it and just see where you want it. You have to add the words. Why is the apprehension of space with no limits or middle? Why is and then add the apprehension of space like no limits or middle, antithetical to me. Delete the in between. Antithetical to the apprehension of me. The apprehension of this, it should go first. Why is the apprehension of space with no limits or middle antithetical to me? So how these two are not contradictory? Say the space with no limit and the emptiness of objective existence. How these two are different? He says, the mind has no limits or middle. Mind, of course, even the mind does not have a middle and the periphery. It does not have a middle. I see no limit. So, I say, okay, do you see a difference? With your mind, you see that with the physical objects, you see that's the center, and this is the periphery, with the physical objects. But with the mind, it doesn't exist. You agree? Good. If you know that, so you know that. And these people, they think that this is emptiness. But you have learned that the mind seen as objectively real. You're getting it? Mind seen as object real versus, okay, mind empty of object reality versus mind empty of middle and the periphery. Is there a difference? Which is easier? Which is easier to understand? Mind empty of object reality versus mind empty of center and the periphery.
Empty of center and periphery is easy.
The empty of center and periphery is easy, very easy. But mind empty of object reality is very difficult to get it. And even if you get a glimpse, it can be quite scary. It says that it's quite scary. And once you get a glimpse of it, you become very confident with this, then it is a tremendous power to counteract the self-grasping ignorance. Okay. So now the author is saying, I see no limit since it is formless. The mind is formless. It's formless, so easy to know that it does not have a limit, the limit meaning periphery and the center. It's so easy. But it's not easy to see the emptiness of object reality of the mind. As for me, I foster the mind. Even if you say like this, oh, the mind does not have a center, the periphery, and so forth, it does not even give a jolt to me. Right? It does not even shake me. I remain intact. Still, in other words, those who meditate on this, for them, they see the mind still as objectively real. So therefore, you don't really harm me. As for me, I posture the posture on the mind, which means that it's spread or it's with the mind. If it does not make contact, again, look, it make contact. This is not the word. It's like if it does not even give a jolt, forget about eradicating, evicting it. Even giving a jolt, if it doesn't happen, and then it is mistaken that it is my antidote. Okay, now the next part. Some, when disturbing thoughts, just delete this, no need of this, disturbing. It's just the edition, the translation, translator's edition. Some, when thoughts are generated, being brought to them by mindfulness, look them directly in the face, and they disappear on their own accord. Okay, some say, I would say, in a way, this practice is very extremely good. Extremely good. Only thing is that simply because it is good doesn't mean there is a meditation emptiness. You getting it? Okay, for example, let's say that let's say Jack may not agree with me. Okay, let's say that so typewriter, the old style typewriter, is good, not good. It must be good. It was used by the presidents, prime ministers, all the people who used it. It must be good. If it's not good, then it must be used. Simply because it is good doesn't mean it is the best. Nowadays, laptops, the modern day computers, they're very sophisticated. Simply because it's good doesn't mean that it is the best. You're getting it? Simply because this meditation is good doesn't mean that this is a meditation emptiness. Don't forget it. For example, you remember, well, I don't know whether I shared this in this class or a class for the NDC and MC. There, when we were editing on this book, the lady who was at that point as the editor, we used to have some disagreements with usage of the words, and if it's very normal English, whatever she said, I just let it be. Because that mine was not the proper English. It's a bookish English. It's not proper English. But her English is proper English. So whatever she said, I said, okay. Sometimes we disagree. Then how do we decide? Because even she can be influenced by the philosophical English. You know, even because she studied philosophy, Buddhist philosophy, a lot. So that even her English can be influenced by this. So I said that no, so let us not decide like this. Now what do you do? Call your mom. Her mother was not a choice philosopher. Her English is so beautiful. And she would call the mother, and the mother would usually agree with what I said. And then one time, there was disagreement. Then she said, Geshe, shall I call my mom? I said, don't call your mom. You have to make distinctions, which your mom can decide, which your mom cannot decide. Philosophical words, your mother cannot decide. Philosophical words, your mom cannot decide. For example, like, I say the monk and the monk teacher, monk student. Monk teacher must be extremely good in English, extremely Shakespearean English. If you ask Shakespeare, what's attachment? He will say it's desire. But he does not have any concept of the computer attachment, email attachment. Shakespeare does not have that. You agree? So don't ask this, say, today's vocabularies to Shakespeare. Who can compete with Shakespeare with respect to English? But there are things which he did not know. You get it? So likewise, simply because this meditation is good, does not mean that they reflect the meditation on the emptiness of objective reality. So these are the distinctions that we need to make. Okay. Some when thoughts are generated, it's very interesting. Being brought to them by mindfulness. Okay, when the thoughts arise, for example, like thought of little agitation comes, or in the meditation, thought of cheesecake comes. It does happen. And the bodily needs, for example, like say in a cold place, you're meditating, your body is also fat. And this is reflected in the form of some images coming to your mind, like the particular food, these things. But it's not always efficacious. Right? So, okay, you should have said this is, it is possible with bodily requirement. No, that's not true. Sometimes it happens, but not always. Okay, so when thoughts arise, like for example, like cheesecake, or there's suddenly a thought of, say, the thought of the flower comes. Then what it says is that you don't just reject the thought, just focus on the thought, stare at the thought, and the thought will disappear. You getting it? Thought will disappear. So the thought will become empty, meaning it disappears. Disappear means no more means empty. Emptiness of thought. Okay, do you think this matters to emptiness of thought? Emptiness of the thought. So the thought arises, thought of, let's say, thought of a flower comes. And then you just keep staring at this and the thought disappears. So disappears means it becomes empty. Emptiness of thought. Is this emptiness of thought that we are talking about? Why not?
Because we're talking about emptiness of objective.
Yes. So although the past thought is empty now, but you can still view the past thought as objectively real. You get it? It's not emptiness. So emptiness of the thought, meaning that we should be able to see the emptiness of objective existence of the particular object, not in a different time, not in a different place. So from 2024, it's empty today. It does not exist today. It doesn't mean that this is the emptiness of the 2024. Okay. So if that is the emptiness of 2024, then it's very easy. Emptiness is very easy. Right? So, hey, 2024 exists or not exists today? No, it's empty. Yes, emptiness of 2024. That's very easy. Okay. Some when thoughts are generated, being brought to them by mindfulness, look them directly in the face, meaning just stare at the thoughts. Stare at Jack like this. Okay. And they disappear on their own accord. On their own accord, the thoughts disappear. Having thus been introduced to, so this is the Dhammakaya. Okay, look. Sometimes, Okay. So when the thoughts disappear, That's the Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya, Buddha state. That's the Dharmakaya, the true body. That is having thus been introduced to the true body means Dharmakaya. Merely due to more thoughts, okay, disturbing, to delete this is just unnecessary. Merely due to more thoughts, there will be more Dharmakaya. More thoughts come, then you stare at it, you get the chance to see the emptiness of the thoughts. That is the disappearance of thought. That's again under the Dharmakaya. The more the thoughts you have, more the Dharmakaya you have. So don't reject the thoughts, those are very precious. Okay. So here, our person would say that just staring at the thoughts, that is amazing. It doesn't mean that it is the magic emptiness. That's very useful. For example, anger arises. Just stare at anger disappears. It's amazing. For example, sometimes you have the pain. You have pain somewhere. You have pain, just focus on the pain. Just keep focusing on the pain. Right? Don't ruminate over the pain. These are two different. Ruminating over the pain and focus on the pain is different. Don't ruminate over the pain. Oh, this happened. Oh, I was sick. Oh, that is so bad. Okay, last time when the flight is, even if not cancelled, I should have cancelled my trip here, so that I would not have, So this ruminating over thoughts. This is not the focus on thought. Just stare at the thoughts. Just look at the thoughts. Just stare at it, and that little thought disappears. This is beautiful. Try it. What's the problem? Try it. For example, some pain arises, or say anger. Particularly, what I would say is that we can practice these things when you are mentally in equilibrium state, when you're mentally calm, peaceful. Start from there. When you're very angry, then the thought, it may not work. Start from when you are stable and sane. Start from there, then build the momentum, build the strength of this practice, then gradually apply this to the action moment. When you're angry or when you crave for cheesecake, right? Just if you're sitting there, don't chase to go after cheesecake, just stay there for a while. And what is that like? The craving for cheesecake, what is that like? Just observe it. Observe it, and the moment you identify what's this like, this craving, just stare at it, keep staring at it, and see how it works. The craving gradually subsides. It's very good. Yeah, okay. So they say they will be more truth body, they're more dharmakaya, and the thoughts will not need to be stopped. This go transforming into the truth body, or transforming thoughts into the dharmakaya. It is asserted as meditating on the mode of abiding. Is asserted as this meditation is asserted to be the meditation on the suchness of ultimate reality. Not seeing thoughts as physical form, not seeing mind as physical form, as its way of apprehending is not antithetical to mind. So when we say that thoughts disappear, objective existence of the thoughts do not disappear from the mind. So therefore, it is not antithetical to mind. What is mind? Self-grasping ignorance. It does not become a meditation in the mode of abiding. Hence, why it is mentioned, seeing the truth. If it does not meditate on emptiness, how can that be the Dharmakaya, truth body? My eviction? That's a laugh. That's a source of laughter. That's a laugh. Okay, next. Some through purely performing the analysis. Okay, now this is in the bodies. In the bodies. Okay. I think that's under pressure.
他确实到把一是把别
제발 내시 수순쇼 하자.
就是说那是之前
촉출. 나는
对
아니는 no 아니는 switching. 오케이. 촉출.
제발이니까
난 제발.
다 제발
아, 제발이 제발 내 무슨 이거를 내가 이거 때문에 okay, so let me explain this. This is the interesting thing which I was discussing with Anila. So this is an interesting part. Little bit of introduction to the debate. Okay, say those from the NBC 5, we introduced a little bit, and NNC you should have been introduced to that. Okay, by the way, it's very simple. Let's say that on that. I want to see the cheesecake as the end of object reality. Right? So, we use reasons. What reason? So there's a particular, otherwise some teachers can explain without having to go through these logical assertions. But the logical, if you know how to process that in form of logical assertions, it becomes very easy for us. Very easy. Then your thoughts can be articulated. You can learn how to articulate things very easily. So with this in mind, let's say that, say cheesecake is the topic. Cheesecake, it is empty of object reality because it is dependently originated. For example, like a dream. So there are four components. Four components in the logical system of presentation of your position. In other words, syllogism. Syllogism means the reasoning that you express. Expression of the reasoning is known as syllogism. So the syllogism to establish emptiness requires minimum four components. The topic, the predicate, reason, and example, or the illustration. Example is better word now instead of illustration. Let me say it once more. For a syllogism, for a complete syllogism, it requires four things. One, what is one? Topic or object. Topic is better. Topic, predicate, reason, example. These four things are. For example, okay, let's say, now, if I ask you to identify what are each of these components, I give you the syllogism and you identify each of these components. First, say, what is that? Okay, let's say I feel so attached to my dad or to my mom. Okay, I want to see the entries of my mom. Otherwise, when I see that the mom passed away, then I'm so much pain. I want to see the entries of my mom. So mom is an object, a topic. She is empty of object reality, is the predicate. Because she is independently originated. That's the reason. And like a dream mother is the example. Dream mother is empty of object reality, is coming from my mind. So four things, ready? You understood it? You can now tell me. In this case, in this syllogism, what is the topic? My mother. And what's the predicate? Emptiness of object reality. And there was a reason. Depending on what originated. And what is the example? Dream mother. Very good. Okay, four. Now, simply because the syllogism has the four components, doesn't mean the syllogism should be the valid syllogism. It can still be invalid syllogism. So, for example, let's say I give you a reason, and you, although you are not interested in this kind of debate, don't worry. You can easily figure out this sounds good, or it doesn't sound correct. You can easily figure out. Okay, let me give you another syllogism, and tell me something wrong there or not wrong is good. Okay. My mother, as the topic, she is empty of object reality. Because she is a table.
What happened? Yes, of course. My mother as a topic, she's entered object reality because she's a table, for example, the dream table. Okay, this reasoning, it sounds good or not good? This genre. Not good, not good. Okay, tell me what's wrong with this. Okay, now tell me. What do you think? Don't be scared. Right? Don't be nervous, don't be scared. Just take your mind. What's wrong with this? Where do you see wrong? Anyone?
Mother is on the table.
Mother is not a table. Perfect. As simple as that. As simple as that. Mother is not a table. Perfect. So this is when. Now, what Simran identifies where it doesn't work. So Anila is going to be studies now in the debate form that say so to see that this, although does it have all four components? My mom as a topic, she's entered object reality because she's a table. And for example, a dream table. Okay, four components are there or not? Yes, although it has the four components, but it is not a valid reason. Valid solution. You getting it? Now, why is it not valid? Because something wrong is there. What is wrong? The mother is not a table. Okay. So these in the degree system is very clear. So you say that with mother is scholarship. Instead, in the debate system, we can say that whether the syllogism is valid or not, it is determined by whether or not it fulfills what is known as the three modes. Or to be very straight, it is three modes. So what is three modes? Okay, let me quickly do this. Here. Three modes. Number one is the property of the subject. Clear, right? 投资，往那里看，都一等的，都一等的，然后，都一等的，有的有的，有的对，有的有的，有的对。 Oh, she's full of excuses. This she followed in her one process she already did. Okay, the first is the predicate property of the subject. First mode, property of the subject. Number two, forward pervasion. Forward pervasion. Forward pervasion. Number three, counter pervasion or reverse pervasion. Counter or reverse pervasion. Okay, what is the property of the subject? It's very simple. Okay, so you have to know these rules. Once you know the rules, so how Simran identify the mistake, you can professionally identify the mistakes. At the moment, if I write a calligraphy, my calligraphy is very good, but it's not as professional as Simran's. I told her that I used to write these calligraphies when I was age, I think about 12, 13, I used to write these calligraphies, but not as professional as hers. Yeah. But hers, Jack did not appreciate. Jack only appreciated good heart, with the good heart she wrote. He appreciated the good heart. He did not appreciate the paper. It's clear convention. Yeah. But I appreciate it. That's amazing. Okay, good. But this is a little bit digression. Now, what is the proper subject? Okay, first the proper subject. Proper subject means, so here, these are all well defined. You're getting it? There's no the guesswork. There's no room for guesswork. It's so well defined. What is the first mode? Proper subject. What's the proper subject? It means the subject should be the sign. The subject should be the sign. What is the subject in this case? Mother, my mother. And what's the sign? Sign for the reason. Sign, okay, yes, I didn't use the word. I said the subject of the topic, predicate, the reason and sign, these two are synonymous. Reason and sign, these two are synonymous. The subject, the predicate, the reason or sign, and example. Okay. Okay. So now, what I said is that the property of the subject means that subject should be the sign or the reason. Sign or the reason. What is the subject? My mother. And what's the reason or the sign? You get a table. Alright? So, my mother is a table. Is it valid or not valid? Because it is not valid, it does not fulfill the first mode. Because it doesn't fulfill the first mode, it doesn't fulfill the three modes. If it doesn't fulfill the three modes, it is not a valid view. You getting it? Okay. What's the second? What the proper subject is done next? Forward progression. Okay. So later this nun, she will have to study all this in more detail, what we are doing here, and then they will study for like minimum 4, 5, 6 months. Minimum. And later to continue. It's not just, we study for 4, 5 months and then finish. No. Later, 4, 5, 6 years, 7, 8 years, they have to continue studying this. So, they have good details. So, we'll skip the details and I'll give you a very easy understanding. What's the second mode? Jack, what's the second mode?
Forward provision.
Forward provision. What is the forward provision? It means whatever is the sign should be the predicate. Okay, just right. Whatever is the forward provision means, whatever is the sign should be the predicate. Okay, in this case, okay, now tell me, you will also identify this, and okay, let me say that this flower is impermanent. This flower is impermanent because it exists. So she said kebab machine. She is challenging me. Okay, I'll not tell you what is kebab machine. Okay, say this flower as the topic or the subject, this is impermanent because it exists. For example, like a broken, the last moment of the extinguishing flower, the extinguishing fire. Last moment of the extinguishing fire, last moment of the extinguishing flame. Is it impermanent? Last moment, next, it goes down. That is a very powerful example of impermanent. So, what did I say? The flower is the topic or the subject. It is impermanent as a predicate because it exists. Because it is existent. It exists meaning it is existent. For example, like the last moment of the extinguishing flame. Okay, the 4 components are there? Yes. And it's a sound reason or something wrong. Okay, that's it. Let's put it like this. Jack, do not forget the early example. Jack as the... Okay, Jack, don't put offended. I'm not with Jack. I'll say the... Ashwin as the topic, he is a boy because he is a human being. For example, Jack. Let me say it once more. What's the subject? Ashwin as the topic of the subject, he is a boy because he is a human being. For example, Jack. Jack and Thosamling. Okay. Is this a sound vision? Do you see something wrong? But what wrong do you see? Okay, except for this nun. Anyone else? What wrong do you see? Yes. Huh? Check it. No. Okay, yes. Himani.
I'll try. So maybe human being can also be more than a boy, and Jack is also.
Yeah. So what I said is that Ashwin as a topic, he is a boy because he's a human being. So what Himani is saying is that human being may not necessarily be always a boy. You getting it? So she's getting the answer. But articulation has to be learned. Okay, another.可以唱吗？最近可以唱吗？
对，probation。
姐姐唱不唱？姐姐可以唱吗？Okay, what she's saying is that it doesn't fulfill the second mode. What's the second mode? Forward provision. What's the forward provision? What does it entail? That what is the sign should be the predicate. What's the sign in this context? Human being. And what is the predicate? Boy. What is the human being should be boy. Is it true or not true? Not true. This is not acceptable. So therefore, it does not fulfill this second mode. You're getting it? If you're able to identify any of the three modes missing, any of the three modes not fulfilled, you can outrightly reject it to be a valid syllogism. You getting it? Okay. Now, let me say, Ashwin is a topic, and he's a boy because, and Ashwin's a topic is a boy, and you're waiting for what? You're waiting for me to give the reason. Okay, good. I said Ashwin is a boy because he's a boy. Ashwin is a boy because he's a boy. What's wrong? Huh?
Reason not established.
Reason not established. Meaning, the property such as the first mode is not fulfilled. Which mode? Third, second, third mode. You cannot go beyond this.
The reason to be different.
Huh?
The sign to be different than the predicate.
Very good. Okay, so basically to say that with the forward provision, that whatever is the boy should be boy. So here the criteria is that the sign and the predicate should be different. You should not be one. You getting it? So therefore it does all the whatever the boy should be boy is correct, but then it doesn't give you any extra information. Because what's the purpose of giving the reason? Ashwin, he's a boy because he's a boy. Why the reason is given? What's the intended purpose? Is to establish that Ashwin is a boy. That purpose is known as thesis or the prebendum. Thesis or the prebendum. Thesis and prebendum is the subject and the predicate combined together is a thesis. It's a conclusion. This is what we are trying to establish. That the subject and the predicate combined together is your thesis. That should be established. For that reason, we will give the reason. But the reason, by understanding the reason, already the thesis is established. So there's no need for the reason. For the reason doesn't give you any extra information. Whereas when saying the Ashwin is empty of objective existence, he's like a brain, empty of objective existence, because he's dependent on originator. Because he depends on causal conditions, he depends on the money, he depends on many factors. Okay, so what depends should be empty of objective existence. You get extra information. You getting it? Okay. So with this, let's say the Ashwin is a boy because it's a human being. What is not fulfilled? Fourth provision is not fulfilled. How? The fourth provision says, whatever is the sign should be the predicate here. Whatever is a human being should be a boy, and it's not acceptable. Why not acceptable? Hey, why not acceptable? What is a human being should be a boy? It's not acceptable. Why not? Yes. Whatever human being may not be boys, because there are girls also be human beings, no boys. Very good. Okay, so this is the. Okay, now. You know why I'm doing. Why I explained is because of one line there. So you see a line there? Some through purely performing the analysis of, analysis of one and many. Okay, let me check what it says here. What is the number? Verse number? 7.
117.
Okay, because I think that there's one technical translation error here. 117. I'll check the room to make sure that 117. Okay, here we are. Okay, so yes, now it's confirmed. The mistake with this translation, yes, it's not that the translator is so poor translated. No, it's not. When I translate, I also do translations. I tend to make many mistakes. Later on, when I look at it, somebody points out and says, yes, what was a mistake? How come that I made these things happen? Okay, so all along, you see that, are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, which line we are reading? Page 32, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lines from the bottom. 8 from the bottom, page 32. Some through purely performing the analysis of one and many. So you have to add analysis of absence of one and many, or analysis of lack of one and many. Absence of one and many, or lack of one and many. This part is missing. Because this is what can potentially happen to somebody. So all these say the same word, absence of one and many, become many times. Many times, where that absence of or lack of, where it is missing, you have to add it. But I'll tell you, don't worry. Okay, so now, this is why I'm taking a deep breath. Right? This is because of this. Okay, about emptiness. Okay, let's say that the Ashwin as the subject, he is empty of object existence, because empty of, or let's say empty of true existence, because he's empty of truly one and empty of truly different, truly many. Let me repeat it. Do you agree with me that if the flower exists as truly, it should either exist as truly one or truly many? Yes? You agree or not agree? If the flower exists, either it should be one or more than one. Do you agree? Hey, this is not philosophy. It's very easy. If the flower exists, if you get a bread, did you get bread this morning? And some people, they're wondering whether they want bread or not. Maybe they did not see the breakfast. They were still in the bed. Okay, so if you get a bread, it should be the bread should be either one bread or more than one bread. Do you agree? Likewise, if you get a flower, you should either get one flower or more than one flower. Yes. Likewise, if there is an objective flower,
or true flower, it should be either truly one flower or truly many flowers. Yes? Yes? No? Joshua? Truly meaning independent. If there's an independent flower, there should be independent in one flower or independent in many flowers. Okay, because Joshua is thinking many things, what Vishal is the nature. Right? Okay, that's very simple. Just say yes. Yes. We have like 4 minutes. Right? Yes. Well, Jack is very happy today. Okay. So let's say now, we say that the flower as the subject, it is empty of objective existence because it is not objectively one, it is not objectively multiple. Does it make sense? It is not meaning absence or empty. So the flower as the subject, it is empty of objective reality because it is empty of objectively one or empty of objectively multiple. You agree? Okay. So there, this is what? This is a sound syllogism. It's a good syllogism. Now, the author is identifying, people who are studying these things, these logics, they can end up into, their own loopholes. Loopholes meaning, thinking that married to emptiness, they may not be married to emptiness, they are getting stuck somewhere like this. For example, somebody coming from, Delhi to Dharamsala, and somebody may, instead of direct flight, they may have to go to Chandigarh, and in Chandigarh they get stuck. Stuck meaning, there's a nice shop, you get stuck there, right? And you meet somebody, right? You meet a friend there, and then, now I don't need to go to Thosamling. And some people, they come to Thosamling, they don't want to go back to Delhi, You don't know. Is that?
Some people come for retreats and
Don't be vague. Make precise. You don't know? I thought you know. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to disclose the secrets. No, you came from Venerable. No, I said listen. Okay, okay. So I took a deep breath, which means we need to rest. Yes.
From the last one, I think I'm not understanding something, just need clarity. How is illusion a positive phenomenon?
That's a good question. How is the illusion of positive phenomena? Okay, now the seniors, NMC1, NMC2. Illusion, positive phenomena, negative phenomena. Positive. Explain it. Explain it.
It's not negating. For example, non-thought, that would be affirming negative, but illusion is not negating. Right? It would be a negative form, you have to negate. But illusion is negating reality.
Wow, that's good. Okay, I'm so happy. Only like to be this challenge. Wow. You are a national magician. So, somebody who's becoming a magician is defeated. Wow, this is amazing. Okay, man, congratulations. Okay, and then see, anyone, how is the illusion positive phenomena? It's not positive phenomena, it explicitly negates something. That is the reality is negated. Amazing. Thank you. Okay, let's stop here. Okay, illusion as positive, negative, Mani. Is positive, negative. Discover. Positive or negative. Say Mani. Positive. Good. Picture of pizza, positive or negative. Picture of the pizza. This is also the picture of the Buddha.
It says here.
Yeah, like what's picture of a picture meaning? Photograph. Photograph of a pizza. Is positive or negative?
In my head.
No, don't make it complicated. No, just bring a photograph of the pizza and show this to you. Is positive or negative? Oh, why?
Because I imagined it.
No, don't imagine it. I'm saying, okay, let's say this one. Now the better. She's very smart, natural musician. Okay, this is positive negative phenomenon. Positive, very good. But this rejects, this negates the real Buddha. So it's negative? No, still is a positive phenomenon. Likewise, illusion. Illusion, why it is not real? This Buddha picture is not real Buddha. But still it's a positive phenomenon. Likewise, the illusion, it appears as like this picture, which is a positive phenomenon. You getting it? Although, yes, illusion means the reality is rejected. The photograph means it's not real Buddha. Real Buddha is rejected. But still, this picture is a positive phenomenon. Likewise, the illusion is also, although it rejects reality, but it doesn't explicitly reject reality. This is different. She said reject. No, there's no half and full. So it's like, let's say, this one. What is this? Positive phenomenon, negative phenomenon. But it also rejects non-flower. This is what I'm saying. It rejects the non-flower, yes? But it does not explicitly reject non-flower. It rejects non-flower. It does not explicitly reject non-flower. Why it does not explicitly reject non-flower is that because there's something there to say that I am the flower. This is the positive phenomenon. You're getting it? Likewise, the illusion, there's something there to say un-illusion. You're getting it? It's a positive. Also, it rejects the reality, but it does not explicitly reject the reality. Okay, we stop here.